And the place is so-called D. That place they call Erowa. So he now sent one of his sons called Igele to come here. And when Igele come here, now the authority now still cover Erowa again. Now becomes the offshoot of Igulumigidu kingdom. So it was a tactic so Igulu did. Anywhere they ran to, he sent his son there. Now there's one they call Obo. This one I say so he sent that one to the Ukwane territory. That one I be the people, the first people of Obiaruko land. So this Ukwane Obiaruko where they see so now is Obiso Igodo Pikin children. So this one where you see so they are Obiso Igodo's children, the Obiaruko people. Those children, the Obiaruko people, which is Ukwane. They are Shaka people. They are Ukwane, those ones are good to get them. So if they tell you say they be Igbo, now laugh and God they laugh. How you take the Igbo? How you be Igbo? And when Obo came to that territory, the only people they can claim evidence to see in that there was nobody there. So when the Gele came here, sorry, everyone never exists. Sorry, everyone exists after Odilige 884 AD. So when the Gele came, here became part of Igodomigodo. Because there were people from that same Udo who passed themselves to different places. It is because of this. Obiso Igodo send the children go there so that they exercise authority. That people cannot separate themselves. But it's not the center of Igodomigodo, like the Ubeku and the people, territories around here. So that was how many of the children. Now, one they call Odion, the Odion children. Now, one they call Odion, the Odion himself, the one they call, and when the Odion died, the Odion had the son. The son is now known as Ere. Ere now took over. You see? So the starting, Priest Odion died. Then Ere now took over. Was actually the age of 40 years on his reign. Then he ruled. Then Ere now took over, which is his grandson. Ere was born and brought up now in Udo. No, not the Ibioton, he was born now. Udo. So he there for this ancestral home there. From there, they now brought him to Ubekun. Remember that Ogiso Igodo was the one that changes Ibioton to Ubekun as capital. Now, they now brought Ere down to Ubekun. And that Ubekun, he was leading there. Yeah. You see, he was not born there. And that Ubekun is his grandmother, is his grandmother home. Because the mother that gave birth to his father, to his grandfather, Igodo, is from there. So that I mean, this is great grandmother home. Yes, great grandmother. Because the woman that gave birth to Igodo is from Ubekun. Then Igodo himself, his mother, direct mother, and that's Igodo. This is his grandfather, which is known as Igodo, is from Udo. So coming to Ubekun to rule, it now look like his grandmother is from there, great grandmother is from there, but now look like a different person to rule. Because of that, some people did not like him. Now, what he now did, he now left there and carried the capital to the place that our ancestor Paidu father created, who is known as Urohbo. He now carried the capital to that place. Oh, Urubenari, light don't come. If I don't bring light. My face don't change. That's my head gone big. So he now carried the capital to that Urohbo. You see, and make it to become the capital. He was now ruling there. And during his time, that was when that crown, you see that crown. Now he established the kingdom and the center of the kingdom inside that Urohbo, the palace and everything constructed. You know when you see those Egyptian wall, all those that is done in Egyptian wall, where they do this kind of thing, he now constructed the palace to look like that. So beautiful, so many structures, many kingdoms still get at it today. If many kingdoms, if you enter Agbon kingdom, you will see how they do the wars, all those things. I don't know. But I've been in Ogun like that. Because most of the things they do in those days, the same replica still did it today. But I never enter inside Benin Palace. So those walls, it was the one that now used that opportunity to design it to look excellent. So the place became lively and popular, famous. That place they call Urohbo. Now, his name is not Ere. It was because of he went to that his ancestors, Paidu father's place, and make it to become the capital. Recreated that palace, make it to become capital. That is why they now gave him the name Ere. And in fact, the name Ere is the used name, is the most used name. Both Edo, both Urohbo, both Esan, both Isoko, Benin, you go hear name like Ere Diawa. If you come to Urohbo, you hear name like Otame Ere. It there for Esako, it there for Isoko. So Ere is very popular in our names. And it is not by mistake. It is because of the grandson of Ogiso Igodo and the work he did. But some people don't know now, they just they give name, they just they give name, but that is how the name came. So the name that came was not his name directly, it was our ancestor, Faidu father. That's why that particular king, known as Ogiso Ere, now restructure the palace and take it to that place they call because of now. Let's keep it going. After then, what now happened? Ogiso Ere was so prominent in his work. Now, from Ogiso Igodo was 40 BC and ruled out to 16 AD. Now, Ogiso Igodo, sorry, that was that. Then Ogiso Ere from 16 to 66 AD. And when you the Ad Iben, this cutlass, this thing you see like this, Adan Iben. Why did he introduce it? I will explain why he introduced it to you guys so that you see the reason he introduced this thing. And also, it was the one that introduced that royal stool. Most king now put their leg upon. In Igbo, in Yoruba, in everywhere. That thing they pull leg, that king they pull leg, na him. That chair where they sit for back, now this kind of chair, king chair, the back, na him. It was the one that brought it. And then there were so many people who do some type of work. They came in, they did those things for him. So during his time, that everything came, the cloth king they wear. In this territory, I'm telling you, came, he was the one that introduced it. Aside from that, he encouraged religion. For each kingdom, the Ojon each community, the Ojon there should to serve, to practice their religion strong and strong, which is our old religion, not Islam, not Christianity. So because of him, Ogiso Ere was so instrumental, was so prominent in the history of that Igodomigodo kingdom. Then, what about other things he did as well? Ogiso Igodo, whatever that Ojon they were doing, Ogiso Igodo, whatever that Ojon they were doing, now they have a Dionysian. That a Dionysian. Now, many people go explain and well. That Dionysian are like, how will I put it safe? They are like kingmakers. So they were like kingmakers. But in his presence, his father was doing it before, but he now break it into smaller units. How break into smaller units? He now turn it to, instead of Dionysian, there are 5. Now turn it to Olia, turn it to Edoen, turn it to Ezomo, and other 3. Which make it to become 5 of this Dionysian unit and break it. Why the Olia is the one that leaded them. And that was the one that brought the word Olia. Ogiso Ere was the one that brought the Olia you hear about. And Olia is not given to common person. It's to the Ogiso Ere. Just like Ezomo in Urohbo land of Ogeli and every other place, Ezomo is not given to any other person. It is the brother of the king. From time, their ancestral Ezomo follow. So also Olia, the brother in Ugele kingdom precisely, Olia is not given to Ezomo is not given to somebody else. Ezomo follow the lineage. You see, down, and precisely they are brothers of the king self. So also, Olia, Ezomo was done there. So it became family something. That is why, when I saw some people that were hungry, that Urohbo kingdom, as is of Ogwobwa, Oriara married from the Olia. And they are not saying that Olia, no, first of all, I first angry when they was do that, but I have to say no, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. You see, I say no, there's nothing there. It is the same family, the same people, so there's nothing there. We should not look at. Somebody say Olia Edion has been there from time immemorial. I have never read any other history apart from Ogiso Ire, who created Olia to lead in these kingmakers. If there is any other history you have, you can let me bring you so that you help us. Ocean vibes. If anything you say, you have to. Ocean vibe request. No, I'm open to know more. So you give me the point and wish Olia this, that, and that. You explain to me. And how is it possible when the kingdom are not together before you want to have Olia? Ocean vibe, come up. You can put me through. You understand? People were doing Ojonwe doesn't mean it's one. When the Ojonwe they were doing, not mean say the whole people did together as one. No. This is what most people don't understand. As Udo is there, it's not connecting to this side. So they was doing the Ojonwe. Now you now have one Olia at that time. It was one Ogidomilo kingdom was created. You have Olia, and that is became the time of Ere. And Olia must be the brother of the king. So also is done in Urohbo today. Who get it precisely? So it is shared. Two important titles is ancestral. The Ezomo Olia Igele is the main Olia. Come up now, may you explain. Not the type for comment section. I want to learn from you as well. You understand? So tell me you come up here, I beg. May you explain more for me. How you take day before you do me good. Explain for me. So that was how it happened right there. And many things were created. Ogiso Ere encouraged Iron Smith, encouraged so many things. Many things were done, many things were introduced. Sculpture. You see, encouraged so many things. And many things were done, many things were introduced. The land began to prosper. People stick to their God. And it was a very peaceful somebody. Very peaceful somebody. I was not able to translate those things. If now I will translate to English, because most of them were written in Portuguese. So he did so many things that I can remember, and I'll tell you now that still existed today. But I was not able to translate those things. But I'll still go back. This is what I don't read many years ago. Not be 5 years, not be 3 years, not be 4 years, not be 6 years safe. So many years ago. But they still stick for my head. But I know say when I will get those books back again and go back, many of those things will still come back. So if there is anybody there where you still say at the top, you know they're right, you want to know they're right, you want to can come up, you understand, and fix it. I don't know where that name Olia come, because each kingdom is each Ojon they will do Ojon with the same family but different stuff. Udo was here, this one was here until they have to join them. And that is the reason they created the Gudu as nation upon nation, and that is how the Olia now started. So it was Ogiso Ere. Out of that, Ejonisen created Olia, became the leader of. They have Edwin, they have Ezomo, they have the rest. Olia was the head of all of them. So that is how it happened. Then, when Ogiso Ere passed on, then Orire took over. Orire was his son, a direct person. During his reign, it was so evident and did so many things. You see, he did so many things. Uniting the people, this what has been done by his father, the unity, he make it to become lively to the people, bringing more of the religion. People have begun to have their deity, stick to their deity, and that deity, they now have an edition of that deity. You have your own, let's put it together to become one. People now have a central place of worship in that that place of that particular territory. That Ogiso Ere had a son. The name of his son is known as Orire. Orire took over. And when Orire took over, Orire was the one that sent somebody now. Again, look where that Obiarako is. They sent somebody to that Obiarako territory again. The person they sent today again is known as Oru. Oru now look, we have Obiarako there from Ogiso Igbo to Pikin. Now Oru, but I don't know if Oru was the son of Orire. But they said he sent someone, according to history, to this territory. And this person came here. And that time, the whole territory was now called Oru. So from that Ukwade down, was called Oru. And everybody that were living from that Ukwane down to the water was called Oru. Before the arrival of the Ijaw people, all of them from the Igodomigodo kingdom to the time it was called Benin Kingdom, they called Ijaw people Oru. Why did they call them Oru? They call them Oru because of the person Ogiso Orire sent. You see, and somebody said, oh, did you know one of the Edion is the descendant of Azama? Why not? It's very, very possible now. Why not? It's possible. It's possible. Why not? The person that leaded Oduduwa, Ekeledara, that leaded Ekeledara, the family, I'm the product of his family, but through our mother, who be a kingdom, that took Ekeledara to Waka, that is an Obo, native daughter. According to history, so from my mother's side, that is Uye kingdom. So if the descendant of Azama can do, why not? It's very possible. The families of Paidu, they can do, why not? Very possible. The idea, let me say it can do, it's possible. Even the one that have lived before, but you know, everywhere scattered and people came back to unite themselves again. So that was how it happened. The person who is already sent to this place is now known as Oru. Oru himself took over the Oru himself. Everybody that were now living down on that place, they're now known as Oru people. Oru, including the Igeli that was there. Including that the Igeli territory was this side. Then the Obo, that from Obiaruku, was this side. You see? So that was how the name now came. They now called everybody that was there. When the Ijaw came, that name was given to them, Oru as well. Now, after the reign of Ogiso Orire, if you can look now, it is the Aka. Now, no time of the Efa. So there was an interregnum that happened for many years. History put 285 years. You see, that was history, say 285 years. But there was an interregnum that happened. If they say 285 years, we cannot debunk it because Okpe Kingdom experienced delay of leadership, kingship for 166 years. Okpe Kingdom, you know here. You see, now Ishekiri Kingdom, you know here, had a delay of 88 years. So if they say 285 years, don't doubt it. It is true. So there was a delay of power in 285 years until Odion entered. So when Odion entered, Odion now is from the Efa. He ruled. Odion was also a great ruler as well. He did so many things, continuing from what has been done before. I mean, what was done before, those things were now affected due to too much delay. He tried to replicate them back. And when he ruled, the other person took over from him. The person that took over from this one now is not son to son. The first one was son to son. Now this Odion, this one they were not son to son. So this one Odion I born in Igidu. Odion is not the one that better Igidu. So it just began to change. So it just began to change until the time. You see, until the time of other kings that rule. That's what they call Efiseke. Efiseke is from the Urubi quarters. He came from Urubi quarters. And that is one of the places most of Urohbo still migrated from. They pull out from that place as well. That Urubi quarters. So they moved out from there. Efiseke is from, that is where he was born and grew up. Not missing an ancestral home. Just like Igodu. Igodu. Not be from the Ibuton he come from. They born out from there. So Efiseke was born in that Urubi quarters and established himself right in that particular places. The one they call Agbonseke. Agbonseke almost the same thing too, because his ancestor is called Efiseke. You see, the other ones were there, so many, until the time of Ogiso Oriogba. Ogiso Oriogba was one of the most influential kings that decided to say, let us join everybody and make it to become one unit. This changing we are changing here and changing here is causing problem. Let us make it, it's causing problem. Let us make it to become one unit. Now, making it to become one unit, it will favor one family, while it will not favor the other family. This became a very big problem to the Akan lineage. Now, but Ogiso Oriogba was already in power, which is the system they call primogeniture system. That system is from father to elder son, or Edaiken, father to elder son. So that was the time of Ogiso Oriogba ruled. And when he ruled, that is son known as Odilige took over. And Odilige had a brother His brother is known as Enowe. Was the name of his brother. Now, when Odelige was ruling, because of the system, the primogeniture system that was done, my tongue, primogeniture system, which from his father to the eldest son that is done, he began to follow through that system until Uwa. You see, Uwa. Uwede. When I reach the time of Enede, it's not changed, but we'll come there. Let me finish with Odelige. Now, when Odelige entered, he became the king. And because of the system that was set by his father, which is known as Urohbo, because as he was in the power, and now went. So all this Igbodomigo they were doing, you see the Udo was not fully in it too. As he not submit to, he was not fully in obedience of all these things. He has to stay off. They know they support the system because of the time of the father. So they believe that the whole power is supposed to be them. When Odelige took charge of that territory, that is when the place submitted fully and became greater Igbodomigo kingdom. So the people should not make a mistake saying that the first capital of Igbodomigo was Udo. No. The creator of Igbodomigo kingdom is from Udo. Not that the capital was from Udo. I don't know where Ibioton is, but Ibioton, I don't know where. No, in those days, I would say Benin cover many places. It is likely that, but I don't want to ask question. I beg, if there is any Benin place, they should help me. Where is this place they call Ibioton? Where is it located? Please. Where is the closest landmark to it? Any popular place you know, like Ikboba, like Ogbe, like so just give me the closest landmark to that place they call Ibioton. I beg, may somebody help me. So I don't know whether you dey close to Udo territory, Udai all those place territory, whether you dey close to that place. So somebody should help me, I beg. But now what I'm supposed to do, but I don't get time now. But if nobody know, let me, I will do. Then later I will come out, I will let you know. Because Udo that time was not a small Udo, you see, it was big and covered many places. The place they call Udaiken, all those places was part of Udo. So the Udo glory covered those sides. You understand? So that is how it happens right there. Then Odelige now went and make sure everybody submitted. Now, Udo is just a section quarter like Ogbe too. Udo was not a section quarter. Now it's a section quarter. Then it was not a section quarter. Now it's a section quarter. Then it was not a section quarter. Because a center of trade, a center of excellence, a center of African people coming cannot be a quarter. It was a powerhouse. But the center is where it remains today. And the powerhouse covers everywhere. Then that are close to him. It's a town and big enough. But Odelige dominance shrink it. You understand? And became small. That is why our brother Greatest Edo is telling me that it was founded by this person, You see? He said Udo was never separated from Ogbe. Try to read your history very well. They are one family, yes. They are one family. But inside that one family, that you try to ask yourself, the Udo that I tell you about is the Urohbo people that came here now. If they are one family, yes. But the Udo that I tell you is the Urohbo people that came here now. What actually made them to come here? So it is because of the power of the league now shrink. And when they shrink, they submitted. That is why they move out. And when they move out, the place now shrink to small place. If not, Udo is not small. Before the reign of the world, Benin reign, Udo has been reigning for 1,655 years. First, and which the name they call Aka that covers it. So the whole territory was now referred to state like Aka, but then there is Ubini as well. Then until Odelige now make the whole territory to become one. That was when the Udona now submitted. But there is another place again that is there. I'm reading this history to Urohbo history. I'm reading it to Urohbo history, and I'm not adding anything to it. And it is an archive history. It is not my own. You understand? It's not my own. And it is written by inspiration from those Urohbo towards those Portuguese. Because this history was written in Portuguese, not in English. To tell you that not when British came, British now changed things. This is a Portuguese word. I have to translate them to English. And it was written to people that were closer to the Oba then. So, not that Udo was the ancestral home for everybody. No, Udo was not the ancestral home of everybody. Udo was the ancestral home of the Urohbo people, not for everybody. That is, it's for the ancestral home because it was where the Aka created, separated from the ancestral home, that they went back to make sure they rebuild. So he moved away from there. So moving away from there, he now created that Udo. Then Udo and her children. Yes, Udo is Idu as a son, as a land under Idu. So also the other territory Benin. You know, when I'm telling this history, people will feel like I wanted to separate. I'm not separating anybody's history. I'm just telling you the way it is. But we are one family day. So family and family must surely fight. You see? And if one person break out, that person will be able to tell his history. That person must be able to tell his history. And this is the history I'm telling you. They know the best thing to do is to make this to become one. To become one. Somebody say Aka and Erowa have over 1,000 years apart. You know how many generations before Erowa? Would it be 1,000 years? Why is using 1,000 years there? From Aka to Igodomigodo is 1,655 years. Now, you don't even pass it to you right here. Then from Ogiso Igodo to Erowa is 884 years plus extra 40 years. That is 884 plus 40 years. That gives you 900 and something. Must say 1,000 years. 1,000 plus 1,000, not 2,000 years. So it was exactly 2,000, more up to 2,000 years. More up to 2,000 years before Erowa Aka. So not be 1,000, more than 1,000. Almost 2,000 years before Erowa. So that was when Ogiso, okay, it's over. Yes, okay, it's over. So that was how Ogiso Igodo, Ogiso Odelige came and put everywhere into control. And the primogeniture system now came that it become father to eldest son. Now this is what anoint the Akab children and decided to move out. Who were the people that move out? They did not move out immediately of when Ogiso Odelige was ruling. They were still planning it. And the mistake people make is that Erowa was not the name of a person. It was the situation that happened. Ogwogwa is not the name of a person. It was the situation that happened that made them give them that name. So Erowa herself, 884 AD, they pull out. And that was the time Ijaw people came in. No, that was the time Ijaw people have been living there. Because the Aka attracted Ijaws. Udo attracted Ijaws. Because of they were doing the same spirituality something. The Ijaw were doing massage, more of spiritual stuff. So the place of Udo, the same thing they do. Because of that, he attracted them. They brought their trade, bone breaking, massaging, mending of all these things. Yes, across Togo and Senegal, we went there. Across Togo, to the north of Nigeria, scattered into the Igbo territory, Imo State today. They are scattered. Akali lineage are scattered all over here. Somorika people, you know, and Akoko Edo, all those ones, our people, they're scattered everywhere. Plus, I go to carry mic, make I do all these things. If I get real support and sponsor, I go do them. I swear to God, I go do them. Make I bring people back. How all of us need connect together. If I get that chance, I will do it. I will tour. I will go place to place. Somebody say Imo here. And they come, you go no say Imo very soon. But will not jump from the history. I will do it. If I get an opportunity, I get a sponsor. The way this our brother, they do Teddy the Explorer, when they move to place. I will tell you now, wait small. I will tell you how I take rich Imo. When they don't change their identity to become Igbo, I will tell you, even with all those places. You don't come one of them, Oguta. You don't come Oguta too now. All those places where Benin warriors, they go to. Benin warriors are not Benin warriors are not going there to conquer people. Ladies and gentlemen, listings. All those places, Benin brothers or Benin warriors go. Why they draw here? They don't go there to conquer those people. It is where their brothers of that Aka move to. They want to exercise authority over those places again so that they become one. That was the initial vision. Not that they were going to go and conquer another people. No, they were going there to make sure that that place that they went to still become authority over that place. And I will still tell you how it still happened in Okpe Kingdom. I will still happen to become Isoko Kingdom later on. So they went there to unite. God bless you. This is the original vision. So don't be conquer, ladies and gentlemen. It's not conquer. They went to those places. They know that their brother is there. Somorika, an example. Oba Eware, man not jump, go Somorika now. Now they spread across different places to go and stay. They spread to different places because they were running away from the authority that they don't like during that time. And that is why you see those Akalines scattered across Urohbo now. The people who bear the name, now they call Urohbo today. They don't change the name because that Akalines, they were known as Urohbo. Ikworo, those are Urohbo, the gate of Urohbo. You see? But anyway, let's go down. We will explain to you more and deeply. That was how Odelige now tried to unite everybody together. But in that unity, they now make, if I call Urohbo, now make it to become Papa to Pikin, headed son. And that became a problem to the Aka. That led the Aka people to move. Now, let's go up and come down for you. So that I'll call the name of all those Ogisos and take it down to this Odelige. The first Ogiso is called Ogiso Igodu. If I'm not mistaken, I will try. I know them, but sometimes they'll skip. Ogiso Igodu, Ogiso Ire, Ogiso Orire, Idu, Ogiso Evobu, Ogiso Ogbedi, Ogiso Emehe, Ogiso Ekpigu, Ogiso Akwaha, Ogiso Efeseke, Ogiso Imara, no Ogiso Efeseke, Ogiso Rudia, Ogiso Orian, Ogiso Imara, Ogiso Etebowe, Ogiso Odion, Ogiso Emose, Ogiso Ororo, then Ogiso Erebu, Ogiso, I bring the commode. Ogbomo, after Ogbomo, then Ogiso Agbonseke. I'm right. After Ogiso Agbonseke, Ogiso Ediai. After Ogiso Ediai, then the 20. After Ogiso Ediai, then the 23rd, Ogiso Oriogba. After Oriogba, Ogiso Odelige. After Odelige, Ogiso Uwa. After Ogiso Ehenede, Ogiso Dua, Ogiso Abioye, Ogiso Ekpigu, then Ogiso Arigo, then Ogiso Owodo. Now we stop at Ogiso Odelige. That Ogiso Odelige now went to different territories to bring them together as one, but under the same control by him. And when he finished, his son took over, Uwa. Now, Ogiso Odelige also went to the ancient Uronigbe. Uronigbe has been existing immediately after the flood. Uronigbe existed. That is the sister territory. That is the daughter place of Paidu. His direct daughter place. He was the one that lived there. He was the one that had that place. He was the one that went there to serve his father, close to the Ethiop River. That was his territory he went to. So on that Ethiop River, he went there and started doing worship, Oloku, worshiping the father, the ancestral place, all these things that happened to his father, everything that happened, and what they were doing before, is they close to the water. Now, because of that, many of Akachide from Udo, they moved so far. That is even 80 kilometers from Udo. They moved from there and came to that place to stay. That is why we have two migration of Erowa people. Uronigbe self did here. So they now came to that Oromigbe. So that was now the territory of that Paidu daughter. That is the same mother, the same father with the Aka. So many of Akachi, they came there to stay and they were now living there. That is why it's different from the central Benin. Oromigbe dialect was different. Before telling you was different. All this, you call it small dialect. So by the dialect itself, you will know. But they are the same people under one father, Per Idu. It is because of power. Everybody have to pull out. So Odulige now came to Oronigbe as well and did everything possible. Oronigbe settlement is older than Erowa settlement. How you go take Erowa and compare? After Paidu, after Papa Idu, Paidu, Gongon, his first daughter is the one that had Oronigbe. Now he stayed here. Now he first stayed here. As they are coming back to create places, he was the one that. So what it be Erowa? It's the same thing like almost 2,000 years older than Erowa, Oronigbe. So Oronigbe is almost 2,000 years older than Erowa. So everyone are the oldest place of the Urohbo people for Delta State, but not to be compared to places in Edo State, not to compare with them. You understand? So you're not compared with anywhere in Edo South, the ancient place, you can't. But for Delta State, it's the oldest of the Urohbo Isoko people, then followed by the Ogogwa family, and then later the Iri family. So that is how it happened. But the league now came to the place they called Oronigbe. Just as he went to Udo surrender, many people fled. Now he came to Oronigbe. When he came to Oronigbe, there was a serious fight. Oromehe, which is also close to Oronigbe, they say the Aka people, they send the Idu daughter place that the Aka children were living, submitted power, sharp. Most of them fled into the Oronigbe. But the Oronigbe people, they were strong. It was a spiritual center. So they fought with Ogiso the League such that the Oronigbe kingdom emptied. People pull out to different places. This one won, this one run, this one left, and the place almost dried up. So all those Dionysian, all those elderly people, we be like saying that them be kingmakers and all those things, and those Enogi with the different places began to cry, please, let there be peace. Odulige should cease fire. Oronigbe should cease fire. Peace. Beg. Before later on, Oronigbe and Odulige now agreed. Now, Odulige now set somebody. When they agreed, the kingdom now come together as one. But Oronigbe come together as one. But Oronigbe was not defeated. It's based on agreement. Now, that Oronigbe, Odulige now set somebody as a minister. In those days, minister is Uko. Is the word they call minister. UKO, the cup. So it's called cup. In Benin, Uku. In those days, if you want to make a minister of this territory, it's called Uko. So they now make somebody to become minister of that place. So this title was Uko, and that was his name, Beard. And when the person was the minister of that particular territory, exercise control towards the Ika. That time, Ika has not been created as Ika. The word Ika never come out. So 884 AD. Before 884 AD, okay, time of Odulige was 712 up until 770 something. So 712 to 770 something AD. That was when that person became a leader there. And that person is the founder of Agbon Kingdom. He descended and formed this Agbon Kingdom. So UKO was the word they used as minister in those days. Uko is what they use as, but Uko is cup. So in those days, it's like this particular cup is a royal cup. So this cup should take care of this place. You understand? So that's why I used to describe minister. Uko, you know, this time they go teach this side. This person go rule this side. So that's what they used to describe the word. So the man that came there, his descendant, he was still the one that founded Uko of Agbon Kingdom, because the name of that one that founded Agbon Kingdom is known as Uko Nororo, which is the golden cup of the royal family of the town. So Odulige now sent somebody, this one from Aka, and his Agbon Seke family, because the one they call Agbon Seke had a son, and the descendant followed down. I can only mention 2 or 3. The other ones are there, but I cannot mention that. The first one is Agbon Seke had a son known as Irimoni. Irimoni had a son known as Acho Jarakpo. So the thing began to follow down until that Uko. You see? So from Agbon Seke time, Uko like the 4th generation. And Agbon Seke to Odulige is the 3rd king. You see? So listen very well. Odulige is the 3rd, is the 2nd king before Agbon Seke. Odulige, so 2nd king to Agbon Seke. Odulige is the 2nd king to Agbon Seke. Now the one they called after Agbon Seke, his son which is known as Erimoni. The Erimoni known as Achojarakpo. Achojarakpo Pekin. It was not the one they call Uko that Odilige now made to become the administrator or a Nogi, but it is called Uko, and Uko title to give a minister. That minister was not the one controlling from Oronigbe. Oronigbe was the center he was controlling from towards the Ika territory, towards the Ukwane territory. It was his name they used to describe, as a minister, to describe those full territory down. From Oronigbe, after the Ethiopia River, and this was corrupted to become Oko Onani, which is called Okwaniti today. So the word Okwani is not an Igbo word, ladies and gentlemen, if Igbo person. It is the title of my own ancestor that was a minister sent by Ogiso Odilige to rule that territory. And his title is called Uko. And when he was leading that particular territory, he became the leader of that places. And he ruled so well. When he died, the people of Obiaruku, that Obo of Igodo, I mentioned that Obo Pikin, Igodo, the people of which other people again say, the one Ogiso really sent Oru to be buried in Obiaruku territory. Then Oronigbe said, never, that he is an Aka son. He must be buried in where they know him to be, Udo or Oronigbe. It becomes a war. That was the first war Oronigbe had with that of the people of Ukwane. So Ukwane now have war with Oronigbe. The history is there for burial of the leader. So Oronigbe defeated them, and they carried that body and buried Uko there. But I don't know the precise, whether it's Oronigbe they bury him, whether it's Udo they buried him. But Oronigbe fought and defeated the Ukwane people. The Ukwane people wanted to bury him here because of his rule, and they love him. That places of Ukwane was now called Uko Nani, which is now known today as called to be Ukwane. So the Ukwane people, the original inhabitants from there, from the time of Igodo, is known as Obo, Obiaruku. They are brothers, they are Idu people. Prominently, they are Urohbo people brothers. Assuming they not change name, therefore call Urohbo and therefore be. Then I wish they remain for Benin, therefore be Edo people. So they not be Igbo. They are not Igbo. So they are not Igbo. There's the request. Okay, there's the say you want to correct.
Yes, I just want to quickly correct you at this 33 people that are watching. You know, okay. Because
speak louder, please. It's loud. Everybody hear.
Yes, you hear me right now, right?
Yeah, very well.
Okay. You see this Okwane matter. Many of you like to tell stories and on our stories, you know. I go prefer if when they talk, will just talk, not just put math inside. You know why? A lot of mistranslation. The ones where they translate now, a very big mistake they make. You understand? Just to tell you, say the Ukwan, yes, so my brother, the Ukwan you are transferring to one person. It's an insult to Ukwane people. You understand?
No,
let me just be gentle. Wait, not the argument. I think. Wait now. I think. Wait. May I give you? Because me, I be very. I'm coming. Not the argument.
Wait.
I dey come now.
Speak. I'll allow you to speak. Wait. I'll allow you to speak. You know, you see it like it's history, but you see it as insult. Now, if you come to Urohbo land, there's what's called Ugele. It's the name of a person that has come there before Igele. And the place now is called, they now name it after, Ogogo now name it after his son, Ugele. One of that name they call Igele, time of Ugiso Igodo. Ikimi, he did for Esan. They now name it after some places. If Kimi was called Evo Ikimi in Esan territory, so we don't see it as an insult. It's not an insult. History is history. And that is why you see the name Igele, Ugele today. Obo, son of Igodo, Obo, Obiaruku. Not be insult. Now you see answer that insult. The couple say they look you down, but not so. But fire down. Continue. Okay, let me on your mic again. There's the word.
Okay. Am I audible now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. So you see, if we want to learn, let us learn correctly and learn the right thing. You see, the people of Okwane, they know themselves, they know all the etymology of all their words. Anybody from outside that is mistranslating is just trying to mislead himself or herself and the people that's listening. Now, Okwane, and alone we define land, ground, territory, terrain. You understand me? That is ane. Uku meaning high. Places that's placed in the highest of how will I put it? High ground. If you want to translate it, Uku is something of high. You know, that's greatness.
There's
Now
now.
that is
What are you now saying now? Who is the person they
now,
call? That Ukuna is a name of a person.
let me tell you, see, we don't name, we hardly in my place, that's why I say we have etymology of all our words. Now we hardly name people, our places by name, especially a clan, not even a village. Now we're talking about the entirety. Ukwan spans a lot. Let me tell you, if you go and check Okwani history, I don't want to, let me spill it a little. You know people that were cut off from the original Okwani to form many other places. You know the links from Anambra, Ndoni, all these people that are originally Okwani that after everything mixed up turned to another thing. Let me tell you, the history is deep. I keep telling you all the time. No. I tell you, yes, that is the recent mix-up that we're talking about. We have all this history you are narrating now. It is all in the because Ukwani history is immemorial. You cannot go anywhere and date it. I've told you the only person that was able to write something about that location is Walter Edgerton. He was the governor of a protectorate then in Nigeria. He was the only person to write, and he wrote a story pertaining to the river Ethiop and the great silk cotton tree. See, let me tell you first of all, so that something. Now you see that tree. Nobody, no juju, no anybody can go there. Go and see the tree for yourself and see what's happening there. You know whether you or your ancestor or anybody, or any god from anywhere can come and claim. Then you will know that if you want to date Okwani, start dating that river and dating the tree. Don't mix it up with other people. We are not arguing with anybody. What happened? See, we have our names, like when they call somebody Ikolobie. Ikolobie, do you know the deepness of that person that they call Ikolobie? That's in men, in Okwani people. Ikolobie. Do you know who's Obie? Obie, if I make the reference now. Yes, I'm telling you, Ikolobie. When they say Ikolobie, the Obie in between there is the word that is deep inside. It's somebody that they refer to a prophet in the ancient times in the Hebrew years. Obadiah, if you have heard of Obadiah in the Bible, that is what they reference Okwani youths, able-bodied men to be. They are not as warriors first to follow, as prophets, people that carry good news. Now, Obadiah met Elijah in our history. You understand? Now, have you heard of our deity called Elishi? You have never heard of Elishi?
Urohbo? Yes, I'm a Urohbo person.
Now, you see, the deepness of Okwani is what I won't want, that's why people, when they talk. We know the history. The most important history we have in Okwani is the one of people people coming to capture our people. That is what we know. And when those things were happening, it's when we reinforced to the best possible. But Idu Kingdom we are talking about, so we played a major role in Chime. It's not those Chima they are calling, referring it to deep people.
Okay, this is what you know. What you are saying is good. But you should know that this same Ukwani, there are still people join together to form Ukwani. Two of us.
I cannot argue. You know why? Because you see, these people have moved. Let me tell you. I want to make one reference. You see the river.
Yes. Let me say something, please. You now, as a person, I can bet you that you are not connected to Obiaro.
I don't even worry. Anybody, people have come from places. You know that people have come. You know that people have come from far and wide. Our people have moved far and wide. My wife today, me that's talking today, is she from my place? So these things have been like that. But the thing is, a land is a land. The people are the people. I've said one thing: if you want to know your tradition, go and ask what is the origin of your deity. Your deity, they will translate it for you. This is where it came from, not imaginary deity that people just formulated from hundreds years ago. There are deities that have been in time immemorial. I can mention one, Nze. Go and I don't know, Ikenge alone. Ikenge, people in the Congos, they are drawing the cosmogram there. They are drawing the cosmogram of my people, what we are worshiping, what we live, our lifestyle, that we don't even know that people are writing about it elsewhere. They are drawing it
I'm
there.
telling you, there's the word. Everything we are saying, everything you are saying there, I'm saying here, it's the same thing. Just that you as a person, you don't know how to connect it to the history. You are just giving me the spiritual aspect of your history, not the physical aspect. But me as a person, I'm telling you the physical aspect. Because Ukwane history, not the whole of Ukwane, I'm telling you. Just like Urohbo now, we have Abraka. Abraka is not connected to Ijaw at all. Why we have the people of Ugenwe, who be a kingdom, connected to Ijaw. No, Abraka is not connected. This is the case of Obiano. For you as a person, if your side is connected to this part, Obiano is not connected to that part. That is it. But all of you are called Ukwane people. And that name Ukwane, I can still beat my chest to you. And that is what caused war between Urohbo and Ukwane. The person they call Uko is a minister sent by Enogi. Not necessarily the first person. It's not the first person to come there. He was an authority to that place. And his reign was so good. And there was, but you know, there was a fight between Urohbo and Ukwane. Two of us, you know.
There have been different fights now. See, let me tell you what brought about. Whatever brought about fights. It's when invasion started. You understand? Anything you see fight. I don't even want to go into that one because maybe we'll start. It's a lot of traitors everywhere. You know. If you no need to even go there because you see some people. Don't go there. It will make us look as if we want to start dividing ourselves again. But when this invasion started, the religious indoctrination and all those bullshit, that is when you saw that people that were your brothers turned their backs for gains, and everything started destroying. You know, people were looking for ways to protect themselves and profit from others. So it's what happened, what is still somehow happening, and will still be happening until we remember that there is what's the beginning?
There's a word. There is no single town in Igbo land that, as you talk about, was invaded. Do you have any history of any place that was invaded by Benin?
My brother, if you talk about invasion, it's technical. You see, some resistance happened. Yes, so some resistance happened in so many places. You know, resistance, physical encounters happened in different sectors, different corners. You understand?
Well, you haven't given the public the history of Ukwane. You're also talking about it. You're only trying to tell us that you are ancient.
Yes, I can. It's like what you want to give history now. We want to start lying. For example, it's like wanting to tell people origin of humankind. You see, you will start trying to assume stories and bring up different fallacies. You understand?
There's the word. Just exercise patience. I will take you now to Ika and we shake it. I will take you to Ika. I don't want to say Ika is specific, but because of you, and the Ika people will not deny it. I hear where the name Ika came from. This is your own now. You don't want to agree with it. You know I'm not agreeing with it. Ukwane is of two people, ladies and gentlemen. We have Ukwane that is of the Benin and his family. You see? Then we have Ukwane that has the influence of Igbo. And the one that has the influence of Igbo, never take. Maybe now the side where this guy did. You get me? If you study one day when I was doing my history, you get one guy will come here. The guy say, they are Benin people. That's what he said. 100% he said it's Ukwane. You there that there's a word. You were here that day when he said it. You were here that day. The guy said he can't call many language. He call many language where it's similar. Then I say they were Benin people. I said the guy talk. He called the family, the Shaka. He called this, he called that. He embraced. So Ukwane is very into two, ladies and gentlemen. Ukwane get the one they mix with Igbo. And that one are recent, mostly of Ndokwa East. Then Ukwane and Ndokwa West. Most of them from Ndokwa West. I believe they from Ndokwa East. Ndokwa East get Igbo. They miss. So you know if you can cover everywhere. In Urohbo land, we get Abraka. Abraka no miss with Ijo. Me, I be still Ubi a person. But Ubi now we get Ijo mother. So me, I like Ijo well. But the Abraka no get to do with Ijo. So Abraka now, if you want to tell you history, he will tell you history of Ikodo. He will tell you history of Ogben Laka. And that history now connected to the present Edo people. You see? But you now, because your own ancestry now is connected to Igbo, you will now feel your history to more of Igbo. And the Igbo connection are yesterday, now create Igbo. You are not making my work look like yesterday work. I'm talking about pre-history of Ukwane. And it is not the whole Ukwane I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Ukwane is divided. They use the name to cover them. And the name started because of that man, Uko. And the Uko ancestors, na the Uko ancestors na Agbonseke, the Uko ancestors na Efeseke, the Uko ancestors na Orire, the Uko ancestors na Ere, the Uko ancestors na Igodo, grandfather na Aka. Nothing you will change, bros. The one they call Igodo na Pikin na Ibiobo, na from Obiaroku. The history I read there, not written in English, Portuguese. I have to translate it to English. So what are you saying? So I'm not telling you that Igbuku, I can't go into Igbuku self na mixture of Ukwane and that of Isoko, Igbuku history. People from Elu, 3 brothers, they from those places. So Ndokwa is near Onya. I tell you how Arawanya came to Onya one time. And when people call you surprised, say, this Onya, I the name take come, I did explain for you. So those people don't have influence of Igbos right here. Story of Ezeshima I talk about, it affects those places. But not Obiaroku.
Okay, no, just one question.
Not Obiaroku. We see Urohbo. It's Obiaroku. Still there today. Ancestral home. But they under Obiaroku.
Okay, just one question before I go, because everything is fine. Anybody, I don't know if any clan that you know has the story of the origin of that river and the story of the origin of that tree. When it started growing, does anybody clan have that story in their folklore? No.
From the Ethiopian river.
Yes.
More of Ukwane I said about. Now when they talk about that, that history is more connected to Ukwane history. It's
okay, so good.
It's not of Benin history. It's not of Urohbo history. Now Ukwane history. So now the Ukwane talk about that place well. Even this your man, Ukwane ancestral historian. This year I want to talk about that source. That source. Benin people don't talk about that source. Urohbo people don't talk about that source. That thing is more of Ukwane people.
It's all right, my brother. That place is the Eden in the Bible. You understand? So you know today, you find out more later. You know, over time, you will still know some things I'm telling you. You understand? That is the Eden.
There's the word. God bless you. So that is how it is. I will carry on go Ika. I don't talk about Ika before. I will carry on go Ika. Because he say all of them now one people. Plus Urohbo people. Plus the Edo people. Plus the original Esan people. Esako people, you go see them. No, we not get any history concerning the source of the Ethiopia, all those things. What they only talk about, we not get main history concerning. Even Benin talk about main history about the Ukwane. So leave that Ethiopia stuff. Now, this is how the history is. Now, there was a problem because of. Okay, somebody say banking. There was a problem because of where to bury the Uko. But I don't know the actual place they buried him. But Oronigbe actually won. I don't know the actual place they buried him, but Oronigbe actually won. So there have been battle between the two over time. And that Ethiopian river became the ancestral worship place of Oronigbe people through Paidu daughter, through the chief descendant of Accra, and also the Efa, they were still there, but mostly of the Accra. That is why the language changed from Central Benin. That is why the Udo language changed from Central Benin. The language Udo speak is not then, in those days, it's not the same. It's the same. Now, this Urohbo language, what would they speak for here? But the Urohbo language just take time, change small. From that time called regional, don't change, more than they altered based on movement of places to places, things they change. So it's not there 100% with the Central Benin. The Urohbo language not represent like the Central Benin. A car language, now the same language they speak with us before, na time it take change. The car they see so. Because that was where Uko, as a minister, take control over and cover the whole territory. When Uko died, where to put him became a problem. The two sides. The Obianoko people, they drag down. The Oru people, they drag down. That is Ukwane now, they drag down. King. See, as I don't want to explain give now. He say Uko na high. Luko, say na high, you on na the land. Uko na people of high rank, ministers. In Idu language, if a unit of placing people that are ministers, they place them there in high service, high seats, but not up to the king. It's called Uko. It's a type of it's an hierarchy of political seats in Idu. But now Benin they use them again. Benin don't use them. Don't lost come out. No, they use. I don't know whether they use. I don't know. What do they see now? More of the Enogi of this place. The Yasere, Uko, and then they hear them again. But it was used then. So it's a high position as a minister. Now they talk first in a high something. The Uko Onani. It can't become the minister. Now they corrupt to be Ukwani. Wait a year so. And what he's saying is the same thing I'm saying. They are prime minister. God bless you. That's what they use for Uko to separate them, to give them the unit power. So whatever he's saying here is the same thing I'm still saying. Just that he's trying to put his Ukwani far ahead, make them look ancient too. Yes, the Ukwani people are ancient. But what we had, that the first person to come to that political territory, according to history, was Urohbo. Then later on, the ones Urohbo was Igodo's son. Then Oru was a man sent by Odilige. Then later on again, Orire, I sent Oru. Then Odilige sent Uko to come. By that time, population don't full that place. And that is how the name came and became prominent. Now, let's come down to history. We're talking about Ukwane now. Not the whole Ukwane I tell you about. Ukwane now get the influence of Igbo. The Igbo has influence now then most of them turn to Igbo. Then reverse migration still happen. The time of a man they call Imowe, one Urohbo man, who fight against to drive everybody that are not speaking the dialect or that Erowa language. Anybody that speak the language, he drive them out. So people who came there to live, most of them ran into the Ukwane territory and they live in the Ukwane territory. They affected the original Ukwane language. Not be this language that they speak. 100% they speak this like Igbo. Not be this language. The language don't touch. Because if you go to Ukwane, you go see say everything where if you talk some kind of thing, pay attention. You will be Benin person, pay attention. You Urohbo person, pay attention. You go to hear Urohbo word. You go to hear Benin word. You go to hear some word inside their language. Then go down to Undokwa East, where they close to Bayelsa territory. You know go to hear the word. You know go to hear Urohbo word, do word. You know go hear. So you see, they're influenced. So these people now, can you call these people that are now influenced ancient? So the original people are ancient, but the rest of them now miss them. This our brother there is from the east. That east are influenced. Ndokwa is influenced. No, the Ukwane is ancient, and Ndokwa is not influenced. In fact, just cross across the Niger. Now straight will take you to. We just take you straight ahead. We will carry you straight to Imo, all those territory, Anambra. So that is how it happens. Now let's go down. Let me check my gear so that Yoruba people there. I'm not going to talk. Let me check whether Yoruba day. Yoruba day, I'm not going to talk this thing I want to talk. Please, you know, Gamma, Otumba, Otumba Figaro, Yoruba do. Otumba no be Yoruba person so. Lucky Oni. Lucky Oni na Yoruba person. Na too dey disturb. Person just talk history, una go dey find una ancestral, una go dey disturb people say na Yoruba, na Yoruba, na Yoruba, na Yoruba. And the person no be Yoruba. That is why that is why Yoruba people dey to talk about our own history. Because Yoruba the thing tire me. Okay, let me go down to this particular one. Now, when Dr. God talk of Igbanke, I will tell you now the whole story of that place. I'm coming down. So that was how those particular territory and Ukwane and down Odilige had Uwa. Then from Uwa was his son, from Odilige. Then from Uwa we have Uhede. Now from Uhede it changed. Not that it changed to another Efa family. It is the same Ogiso Oriogbe, the 23rd Ogiso. Now it believe the things they come out from. You not go another place. But instead of see Ogiso Oriogbe, Ogiso Odilige, Ogiso Uwa. After Ogiso Uwa, now Ogiso Uwede. After Ogiso Uwede, Ogiso Ehenete. Now the thing now change from that Uwede time. It now change. But let me say it change come out from the ancestor Oriogba Beleo, and the same family. Ogiso Oriogba had Odilige, his first son. Then had another son. The name of that son is called Enowe. It's the name of his son. That son now, the thing Enowe now gave birth to the one they call Uwede. You see? So instead of this to follow Ogiso Oriogba Odilige Uwa, coming down like that for their picking, it now changed to Odilige brother. This history, most of some Benin people don't even know too. They thought it is just directly straight. No, it's not directly straight. It is Oriogba straight too. But when it is the time of all Ika Anioma is pure Igbo. Those are the time. This one are real Anambra, not be the real Anambra be this now. Anambra don't to celebrity, all of them they use a deep. Say all Ika Anioma is pure Igbo. If I tell you the history of Ika now, who will catch you? Are you a criminal? Why they do like that now? And you can't put her this thing. I don't understand. And you can't do drugs in a Igbo. You know they fight her. Your sister, don't fight her yet. It's your sister. Settle with her. So that is how it is. Now, coming down, the time of Ogiso, they are missed, my brother. They are really missed. So the time of Ogiso Owodo. Now, what about Ogiso Owodo? What about Ogiso Obiodo? Ogiso Obiodo is the last Ogiso that ruled from 1059 to 1100. Ogiso Owodo reign was Ziggy-Zaga. Ladies and gentlemen, according to history, it was what? Ziggy-Zaga. Let's talk about Ogiso Owodo history right here. Ogiso Owodo was one of the kings that almost make the Ogiamien family to hijack the whole history of the people. But God saved, and it was not like that. When Ogiso Owodo was ruling, I know we'll talk some of the things Ogiso Owodo do. Because our king now, our king. I make I talk. Dr. God, make I talk. Dr. God, you did it? Dr. God, make I talk. Pass more small. Okay, thank you. Ocean Vibe say, where was Ogogwa when Evian took power? Ogogwa is not the name of a person. Don't let people deceive you. Ogogwa is the situation of things that happen. So the leader of that people, Ogogwa means, just as Erowa, Ogogwa, Erowa are the same thing. Erowa means he's not at home. Ogogwa, the same thing. So situation of what make them move. The person that leaded them is now known as Urohbo. Erowa, situation of what that happened, now used to rename the person Erowa. You get? Now, Ogiame, what they talk about, I will tell you how the Ogiame happened. People pay attention, oh, pay attention. According to our own history, may be different from your own. So this is the most important part of history you need to hear today. How Ogiame happened. If you are there, when I type, if you are there, say I. Let's go there. This is the most important part of the history, but I will small. If you are there, say I. If you are there, say I. Okay. Lucky Oni won't capture he won't capture a car story. So that I will connect that to okay, let's keep it going. I want another now plenty now say I. Okay, voice sound. Let's keep it going. This is the main story of why you need to know the truth right here. Okay. Lucky Oni, you did here. I see you. Now, thank you guys. I like the way people are following up. Avian is not direct to Idu. Avian ancestor is Eholoniri, the lineage great Lairi. I'll tell you how Avian come and the son Ogiame Urohbo. That's his name, Ogiame Urohbo. So I'll tell you guys, let us calm down. Now, when Ogiso Urohbo, because of people spoiling our history, once you condemn Ogiso Urohbo, you condemn Urohbo, you condemn the Benin people, you condemn the Esan people, you are condemning our king. You understand? So that is why, though there was a kind of things that he did, not that he did something that it was out of control. What he did, he was out of control. He demonstrated powers out of control, and he lost himself, and that became a problem. So let me just make it to be like that. I don't want to go deeper. He lost himself, and that thing now made it to get out of control. Now, Benin people that are here know what I'm going to say, and those Urohbo historians, because if I say this, it's against us, against me as a person as well. So there are some things we keep. This is our privacy, but it is not even written anywhere, but we know. Now, Ogiso Urohbo reigned. He was a weak leader. Ogiso Urohbo was a weak leader. Now, when Ogiso Urohbo was ruling from 1059 to 1100, so many things happened. There are some people that there are some rules that has been placed during the time of Ogiso Odilige and Oriobia. In fact, from the time of Ogiso Igodu, but the time of Ogiso Odilige, that was when the thing became prominent. And when he did that, there are some people that work. Pay attention. There are people that began to work for the kingdoms. So those people that were working for the kingdom were not regarded as high-placed people. They work for the kingdom. Once they work, they pay them. Now, when it get to the time of Ogiso Urohbo break that rule and power those people to have authority over land and properties. So the original things that were done from the primogeniture system of the system of rulership, Ogiso Urohbo came and scattered it. So common person now had, but it is good though, normally, just like democracy, you understand? But then it spoiled the power, and the thing now affected all those Ulia, Ejon, all those things then. So common person now have powerful authority over land and properties. So he now break the system set by Ogiso Odilige. Now, this is where it is two ways. Because if Ogiso Urohbo break system sent by his ancestor, if Odilige was his real ancestor, he wouldn't have breaking it. If Urohbo was his ancestor, he wouldn't have breaking it. So it's two ways. I cannot lie to you. When the man they drag, say Ogogo and Papa, it is two ways. But I never see him in our history. Because I use my brain, I calculate. Ogiso Urohbo came, destroy all the system that has been set by Odilige. So if that person, now he picking normally before, he no go do that kind of thing. He go follow the system of his father. Because the system of his father, they favor the group. But when he came, he changed it. and make commoners become important. And those commoners began to began to do things by themselves. And this became an abomination to the rules set by Ogiso Odilige. Now you as a person, you have to reason. If Odilige made that kind of system, he would have been in control and subdue everybody, just as the time of Odilige, because it will be favored to him. But he changes it. And when he changes it, all those Ejon, they're not going to like his system. So this is where it is halfway, that it might not be the son, or it might not be the descendant of Odilige, it may be another person. Or it might be a far, the same of Odilige, but a far family, just like Odilige brother, Enowe, Rude, his son known as Oeje took over. So Owodo might be far. So it is two ways, but I never see any of our history that Ogiso Owodo, this one I come, I never see. So the story dey like this. So if any person they cast Ogiso Owodo, na Urohbo, na he born this one, it is somehow correct. But I'm not going to stand because I never see him. And whether the mind they talk na assumption. But in the trace am because of what you hear Owodo, and most of them they hear many towns beside Urohbo land of Ogogwa. And people they say Ogogwa was a prince. And that was the time Ogogwa left the kingdom. So who is he prince to? But if he's a prince, Ekele Dara matter for not come. You see, that means Ogogwa is supposed to rule if he's a prince. But it's not a prince to Owodo. It might be it's a prince to the Aka, but not a prince to Owodo. So in this place, I'm not going to stand to one. I tell you that Ogiso Owodo, this, that, those ones. I cannot stand to it. I never saw any. I not see him directly say. I only know that from the Odilige down to the Obaship and the Obas of Benin. But the behavior of Ogiso Odilige did not look like an Akaon that want to differentiate the system of the Efa. You see, or the same Efa that doesn't want that system to take place again. Yes, I don't see the history of his direct father. No history of his direct father, of his Ogiso Owodo, the direct father. It's supposed to be put in there that because the last person was Arigo, but I never see history that Arigo better than Owodo. It is here after Ogiso Arigo, it is Owodo. And Ogiso Orogo was bettered by Obi. But no history of Arigo giving birth to Owodo. So this is where the problem is. And if you look the word Owodo, the people who use Owodo today for Benin to Urohbo to everybody is the Urohbo people. Not the Urohbo people generally, is this Ogogwa. And then, and it means town, new town. Maybe the word Oyibo, they say Obodo, Oyibo, Obodo, Oyibo, Obodo, town. So that is what they use in Ogogwa family today, Obodo, Owodo. So if you come to Ugele, we have Oto Wodu. If you come to Agbara, Oto Wodu. You go to Ijele, Oto Wodu. But if he's directly the son of Ekele, if son of Owodo, Ogiso Owodo, he is supposed to be the king. But he's not the son of Ogiso Owodo. But if he's supposed to be the king. But it's treated that he was a prince who left Igudumi land and came to this territory. So the one way I know see. That's why I like myself. I'm not going to have join. Okay, Benin still use Owodo. Okay. Now we want to why not debunk the mic since? Why not debunk him? Now debunk him now. I don't see anybody who stand to that word. As me myself, I sure. Where they call Owodo. Anything like town they call Owodo. Any place in Benin where they help me, I beg. Because it is a regular thing in the whole of our place that they get Oto Wodu. This is help me. History never said that Ogiso Arigo better to Wodu. But history say Ogiso Arigo, see who born am. So this is where the history is. And the same our history never condemned Ekeledara as the only son of Ogiso Owodo. So that is how it is. Now, let's keep it going. Ogiso Owodo make commoners become important and gave them power. This became a problem to those Ulia and all those people. Now, the same Ogiso Owodo time, there was a man. The name of this man is called Ogbeifun. This man was a nephew to Ulia. Let me repeat again. There was a man known as Ogbeifun. This Ogbeifun was a nephew to Ulia. Something transpired between Ogiso Owodo and Ogbeifun. And Ogiso Owodo. When he put him down, because of that, the Ogbeifun had a wife. The wife is pregnant. Let me not go to all the story. You understand? So what Ogiso Owodo did was bad and evil. And there was a law that came that if the king do so and so thing, they cannot harm the king. Then the kind of thing that the Ogiso Owodo do, if you try it, if anybody try it, that person will be hanged. You see, the kind of thing that Ogiso Owodo do as a king, if na commoners do am, he will be hanged. But as a king, he cannot. And I will don't put to the constitution over time. So because of the way they did that kind of thing, that's what I don't know explain. When you do that kind of thing, they have to banish him to his place. The place is called Hinui. That is where he came from. So if Ogiso Owodo was a direct son of Ogiso Arigo, he would have come from the place where Arigo came from. Because Arigo is not for the Hinui. So that is how we calculate history to bring it out. Now, Ogiso Owodo as a person had a son, according to history, it's like Ekeledara. I know the Ekeledara story. How it take happen. Ekeledara was, Prince Nosa don't come. Now you go be the person right here. Thank you very much. I don't come out again. Okay, let's go down. Now, Ogiso Owodo, during this, because of that thing that he did, before he was banished, he did something that was evil. And that thing, people began to dislike him. So him himself as a person, why he was doing that thing was because of frustration of his son that has been exiled, that he made mistake of exiling his son. He was so weak that he even exiled his son. You see? No, Ekeledara was not buried in Udo. Ekeledara did not die. Okay, Vivita is here. Ekeledara did not die. Did not die. It was not. Urohbo history never said that he died in Udo or any other place. In fact, Udo was not his territory. It's Ugoton, and the person he met in Ugoton that leaded him to one important family right there that he stayed. That famed Oboma that leaded him is his son. They called Ofeneoge. Ofeneoge is the founder of Ubi Kingdom. I am a man of Ubi person. So if Ekeledara died, I will tell you 2 ways to tell that Ekeledara did not die. I will tell you 2 ways. You see it as evidence. Now, me as a person now, I'm a man now, the kingdom he come from. The Obo, when he escort that Ekeledara waka, all those waka, come here. His son, they call Ofene. Ofene Ogun, be the person who create Ubi Kingdom and the Fruto Kingdom. Today, you say the father of Ekeledara is from Udo. So that is where the story is. So I'm not going to talk to Ogiso Owodo now from Ogiso Owodo. Vivita, okay, you're there here, right? Vivita, where is Ogiso Owodo from? Who is his father? Help me, Vivita, I beg. On my history, they never mention his father, but he's from a place they call Ihiwi. I know, I'm not talking about Ekeledara now. I'm talking about Ogiso Owodo. According to our history, he is from a place known as Ihiwi, in that same Edo South. And WINROIN. Ihiriwi. I don't know if you pronounce the name well. I beg, try to let me know where he's from. Request Vivita. Because I never had any issue at all. I really go better to this Wodo. Ebohimi. Okay. Ebohimi. Wow. So I beg, throw more light about that place if you really.
Good evening, boss.
Okay, Vivita. I greet you.
Yeah, I have a boss.
I beg, throw light on the father
So
of.
for the Ogiso, for that Ogiso Obodo matter, the issue of that Ogiso Obodo, me I not really get. I not really get that issue of Ogiso Obodo, but I know say it come from EV, and I so I like there. You there with me?
I there with you now.
Okay.
So repeat again.
And that okay, the issue of the father of Ogiso Wodo, I don't really know. But that where come from, so that na upper side, na Sokoba Road side there, which is under Ikpobaoka local government. I know that one before. So it's very far from Udo. Udo is under Ovia local government, and it's very, very far, very, very far. Even it's even closer to Abraka and Orion. You get it's under Ikpobaoka before Idogbo. And you know, say yes. No. Because Ikpobaoka is just immediate to Orion local government. Let's say, if I'm not mistaken, like 40 to 50 kilometers. Now it be from Ronigbe.
Okay.
So you know it just very close to Odo at all. Not very close to Odo. And you know, say the yeah.
What do you mean of this word?
I do with you. Network.
EVUOTO.
Now, we spell out. No be a Boeing, you. Those one are Asian name, or that one are Asian not name. There's nothing like Boeing.
What is the meaning? Sorry, what's the meaning of in a Edo language? After you say your own, tell my own. What's the meaning in Edo language? EVU.
As in, the meaning
EVU. Evoto.
EVU. Oto. Precisely na grant. As in land, the grant, that be Oto. We don't use that evo. We use maybe a water. We might call it a water, as in we will call it a water, not a voter. Maybe it's Urohbo that use a voter because we use VB. We don't pronounce that V. We say V. You get? We call it V, a water. So.
Sorry, Victor. What will be the meaning of that word in essence?
So when you say a voter is land too, but it's not a direct, not as a direct meaning. When you say voter, that means you say pool land.
Voter, yes.
Voter is land. A voter, if you say a voter means the full grant. A voter, it means the full grant.
Then the name will say a voter.
You know why they ask this question? Father of because I see that the mind and all those things, then I have to reply you. When I reply you, let me this first. I'm coming. I'll give now and I'll speak back again. But if I try to do for someone, you say your noise no go come out. No say when the mind speak, it was the father of Ogiso Wodo and all those big things. I try to make sure, but I don't know Urohbo history like that as well. But me myself, I have to go back and go and find out, and I do down to see the father of Ogiso Wodo. I never see any history that is because when I read Guru, it's not the one that better to Ogiso Wodo. And from I read go down to Dili and Urohbo are the same family, but the Wodo can't be different. Now, here is if the last that Ogiso, the last voter. Yeah. Let me tell you. You know the word person are indigenous to Digi. Now we use Urohbo in Urohbo to differentiate Omoto. Urohbo means the one where you born for your belly. You get me? So the one where you born from your stomach, come outside. There now are all Edo people. We are indigenous. We are indigenous to Edo State and Delta State. Now we get on. Now for the Edo State now, our king now and Delta State, our king we will get now, they are Peking. We use the word Evoto for their Peking towards us. All of us are indigenous, but they are Peking are Evoto. So we use it especially in that Efroto of Urohbo. They usually use it there. Evoto is an indigenous as the Peking. That same Peking is indigenous, but it's indigenous. It's indigenous. I don't know the right language we have to use. Okay, let me use Pidgin English. Maybe na grammar they asked me to use. Now, all of us that are here, we are indigenous, but the king Peking is the one that came from his stomach. It's more indigenous to the rest people. That is the word they use in describing Owodo, that he was the last of Woto. So that is why I wanted to really understand that it was the land of Woto. When they say last of Woto, it actually means that, look, it actually means that because Urohbo made it to become a Woto from his stomach. These are the people that would always rule. So when they say last of Woto, it means that it's from Ogiso or Urohbo family. And if it's Ogiso or Urohbo family that came down, descended and came down, now it's supposed to be Arigo, the father of Owodo. But I never see any history that Arigo is the father of Owodo. So that is where I am getting the confusion. And I want to make sure I get it right. So if there is anybody, you understand? If you look at it very well, the Owede, it changes. So it's the same Urohbo gets son Odulige. But Odulige get brother Emowe. Now, Odulige Peking is called Uwa. And when Uwa ruled, the other person that took over from him is not Uwa Peking. He now went to Odulige brother Emowe's son. Great grandson, and now took over. So I want somebody to, if you know this issue very well, because Arigo, so that if I want to give to people, tell people very well, yes, well, I can explain it. Arigo is not the father of Ogiso Owodo. Who is his father? Ombo Black, if you did help me out, I beg. I see you just now. So, bros, I beg, give me just 30 seconds, make I peace. And they come. Maybe as soon as you request, maybe if you explain better. And they come.
That's fine.
Bye.